You are, quite literally, ancient stardust that learned to think. But here is the question: how did all of this begin? Who was the first person to walk this earth? And how did life, from the very first bacterium to the first human being, figure out how to create more of itself? Every single human being who has ever lived, from the very first person who stood upright on the African savanna 300,000 years ago, to the 7 billion people alive on this planet today, has looked up at the night sky and asked the same question: where did all of this come from? For most of human history, the only answers we had were stories. Beautiful stories. Gods, creation myths, sacred texts. Stories that gave meaning and comfort to a question so enormous that the human mind could barely hold it. 13.8 billion years ago, all of space, all of time, all of energy that has ever existed was compressed into a single point smaller than an atom. And then, in an instant, it expanded. Now, here is what almost every documentary gets wrong about the Big Bang. It was not an explosion in space. Space did not exist before it. The Big Bang was the creation of space itself, expanding in every direction simultaneously, carrying matter with it. In the first 3 minutes after the Big Bang, the universe cooled just enough for the simplest atomic nuclei to form: hydrogen and helium, the two most abundant elements in the universe. Together, they make up 98% of all visible matter that has ever existed. For 380,000 years, the universe was opaque, a fog of hot plasma so dense that light could not pass through it. Then the temperature dropped just enough for electrons to attach to nuclei and form complete atoms. And in that moment, for the first time, the universe became transparent. Light traveled freely. The cosmos was lit up. Scientists can actually still detect the faint afterglow of that very moment, the oldest light in the observable universe, called the cosmic microwave background radiation. It is the universe's baby photograph, and it is one of the most powerful pieces of evidence for the Big Bang theory. You are literally made of dead stars. This is not a metaphor. For 0.5 billion years ago, a cloud of gas and dust, scattered debris from an ancient stellar explosion, collapsed under its own gravity and formed our solar system. Our sun ignited at the center, and from the leftover rubble, Earth was born. Every carbon atom in your body, every iron atom in your blood, every oxygen atom in your lungs, all of it was forged in the nuclear furnace of a star that lived and died billions of years before you were born. When you look in the mirror, you are looking at ancient stellar material that, over 13.8 billion years, slowly organized itself into something that can look back. You are the universe experiencing itself. Life appears, from chemistry to something miraculous. 3.8 billion years ago, in the warm chemistry of Earth's early oceans, something happened that scientists call abiogenesis, and it is, arguably, the most important event in the entire history of this planet. Non-living chemistry became living chemistry. A molecule, most likely RNA, the simpler cousin of DNA, developed the ability to make copies of itself. It wasn't conscious. It had no desires. It was just chemistry. But it was chemistry that replicated. And that single change, chemistry that copies itself, is the dividing line between a world with no life and a world teeming with it. Over the next 3 billion years, life remained invisible. Bacteria, algae, single-celled organisms, quietly transforming the planet's atmosphere. They produced oxygen where there was none. They created the conditions that would make complex life possible. Then, 600 million years ago, complexity exploded. Animals, plants, insects, fish, reptiles, mammals. And, 7 million years ago, in Africa, one branch of primates began to walk differently. The real first human, found in a Moroccan mine in 1961. In 1961, miners digging for the mineral barite at a site called Jebel Irhoud in Morocco stumbled across a prehistoric skull. For decades, scientists weren't sure what to make of it. It looked human, but also didn't. Then, in 2017, an international team led by the Max Planck Institute redated the fossils using modern thermoluminescence techniques. The results shook the entire field of paleoanthropology. The skull was 300,000 years old. The oldest known Homo sapiens remains on Earth, pushing back the origin of our species by a full 100,000 years. It had our face, flat forehead, modern-looking jaw, recognizably human features. But the back of the skull was still elongated, a mix of ancient and modern, a species in the middle of becoming itself. This is not the first human. There was no single first human. Evolution doesn't work that way. What the Jebel Irhoud fossils show is that Homo sapiens didn't emerge in one place and spread outward. We emerged gradually, across the whole of Africa, over hundreds of thousands of years. The cradle of humanity was not a single village. It was an entire continent. For the first 2 billion years of life on Earth, reproduction was breathtakingly simple. A cell would copy its DNA, then split in half. 2 identical daughters, each carrying the exact same genetic code as the parent. No partner needed. No male or female. Nothing but a single cell making a copy of itself. This is still how bacteria reproduce today. And for a very long time, it worked perfectly. But there was a catastrophic flaw built into this system. If every individual in a population is genetically identical, they all share the same weaknesses. When a new virus or parasite arrives, something perfectly evolved to exploit one vulnerability, it can potentially wipe out the entire population in one sweep. Because there is no variation, no surprise, no hidden ace in the deck. Life needed a way to create difference, to shuffle the deck, to produce offspring that were, every single time, genetically unique. And so, around 2 billion years ago, life invented something remarkable. The first sexual reproduction had nothing to do with pleasure, attraction, or love. There were no brains yet, no nervous system, no feelings of any kind. 2 single-celled organisms, no male, no female, just 2 cells, merged their genetic material together. The result was offspring that were genetically unique. Not copies, not clones, something new. And this changed everything, because now, every generation produced variation. Some offspring were stronger. Some were more resistant to disease. Some were better suited to a changing environment. And those were the ones that survived and passed their genes on. Sexual reproduction didn't just create children. It created the engine of evolution itself. Every species alive today, every flower, every fish, every mammal, every human being, descends from that first moment 2 cells decided to mix their genetic material together 2 billion years ago.